We have Dr. Badrul Huda Khan to moderate this webinar.
Our keynote speaker, Professor Dr. Chris Dede. He is from Harvard University, Boston. Professor Dr. Muhammad Fayyaz Khan, Vice Chancellor, Bangladesh University of Business and Technology. Dr. Reggie Smith, Chief Executive Officer, United States Distance Learning Association. Professor Dr. Joseph Rene Corbeil, the Coordinator of Education Technology Graduate Program, University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. Thank you all for joining. Remote learning requires a higher level of independent learning, intrinsic motivation, and support system for learning process. These days, we are hearing about, for higher education, students are concerned about their tuition. Will they pay the same when they take face-to-face classes versus taking online? They are voicing their concern about their mental health and talk about their data security, their privacy. And there are recommendations coming from many about the micro-credential, some promoting micro-learning, and ultimately blended learning becomes a very visible solution. Our keynote speaker, Dr. Chris Dede of Harvard University.
My first experiences with helping people do distance education were in 1978. So for more than 4 decades, I've seen many different technologies, many different models of distance education. And of all those years, this year is the most exciting. This year has the most opportunities connected with it. So I want to share my enthusiasm about that and the process of higher education. So one thing we know that's happening sooner rather than later is that artificial intelligence is changing the division of labor between people and machines. And there's been a lot of talk about which jobs are going to go away completely and be done by AI. All the jobs that are going to be done now by a partnership between a human being and an artificially intelligence. So we in the university and in higher education are not in the course business. We're not in the degree business. We're not in the campus business. We're in the lifelong learning business.
We transitioned from tests to project-based learning. And we tried to design projects that were where students had to create original products. They couldn't go anywhere, look for something online, and just grab it and say, this is going to be my product. So they had to develop original products based on their own or program needs. If they were classroom teachers, they would have to identify a certain topic in their course where students struggled and develop some form of instructional intervention. So with that kind of thing, it disincentivized cheating because students were finding value in the products that they were creating.
Fayyaz Khan from Bangladesh, how are you handling online testing in your institution?
It is really difficult to handle because there are so many subjects like social science, engineering, business, then literature. We decided that the question would be open book type, and they will search the answers and they will answer it. And in some cases, we tell the students to keep their microphone as well as camera on. But in all cases, it is not possible due to, as I already mentioned, that we have internet problems. But around 70 to 80% of the students, they keep their microphone on, they keep their camera on, and the teacher keeps an eye on the performance of the students during the exam period.
With USDLA, are you guys doing anything helping universities?
We have a fabulous instructional media selection guide for distance learning. It's a free resource on USDLA.org. But the piece we're really helping institutions with is we're really also looking at the quality. There's accreditation out there, but we also offer a certification program really looking at the standards and quality for institutions in online education. And so engaging institutions Also, really being a resource for their students and providing help, even with accessibility through our state chapters and more, really helps those institutions kind of transform and figure out what they're doing, and also looking at the open education resources and coordinating those to make it affordable.
There are so many questions being asked, but know that what you can do face to face, you can do online also, maybe in a better. Some cases there are challenges. We need to understand we are no longer in brick and mortar campus-based instruction. Life has changed. We are in a new norm of education. And in this new norm of education, you need to learn how to cope with it.